Laksa, no harm. Top 10 food or F&B trends in Singapore.
Number 6.
Do you drink coffee, Derek?
I would say I like coffee, but I love tea more. But in terms of coffee, the biggest trend right now, coffee raves.
What are coffee raves, Derek?
Essentially, daytime raves attended by people who prefer caffeine more than alcohol. I don't know why, but sure, to
They
each
have,
their own.
they have swapped out one stimulant,
Correct.
alcohol, with another, coffee, right?
Correct.
So essentially, it is a rave party with a different stimulant,
Yes.
possibly more well-behaved patrons,
Arguable?
the same loud music,
Yes.
but cleaner toilets.
Yes. Indoors, cleaner toilets, everything. It's a controlled environment. Think of it as Coachella without the bad weather, expensive food, but just as expensive beverages. In this case, coffee, not alcohol.
Yeah, why do you think this is the case? This whole coffee rave thing.
I think it's largely because the kids these days don't want to necessarily rave until 3 a.m. in the morning. If they can start earlier and end earlier, why not? The only thing I don't understand is why are they swapping out alcohol with coffee? I would have I endorse daytime drinking. Daytime drinking is the shit. People should do it more often. Start early, end early. But yeah, I don't get coffee raves. No, I get it as a concept. I don't buy it.
You won't go for it, lah.
Now, in a room that is too brightly lit and everybody's pupils are dilated because of caffeine, no thanks.
Well, when you say that dance like nobody's watching,
Everybody's watching.
cause it's
Every
fucking bright.
motherfucker's watching, man.
Dance like everybody's watching.
Yes, and then yes, this is definitely a trend. And of course, once again, we are not the first to report this, but we think it is a trend that will sustain a little bit longer.
Yeah. It runs along the line of daytime clubbing as well.
Yeah.
But that again, no coffee. Sometimes even no alcohol as well.
Yeah, and you know what we said about the alcohol episode, right? When we were talking about drinks
Yes.
in season 1.
Yes.
The issue for me, with the other issue, one of many issues I have with coffee raves, is what happens after the coffee rave. With alcohol, you get into all sorts of crazy shit and you have a story to tell afterwards. What is your story after a coffee rave? Pray tell.
I got heart palpitations. After
I
four,
spilled milk.
after 4 cups of espressos.
Honestly, cute concept, but no, it's not the same thing.
The Gen Zs are getting it right.
Are they?
Well, at least they are drinking again.
They are?
Yes, I read somewhere that their level of drinking has finally caught up. And it could also be due to something which is the next item on our list.
Yes.
That we call Laksa No Harm. Top 10 food or F&B trends in Singapore.
Coming in at lucky number 7.
Well, wine has always been very, at least in my point of view, a bit
Yes.
atas or
Correct.
a bit highbrow. So in one of the episodes on drinking, we
Yes.
talk about how wine is set for democratization.
Yes, I think that observation was based on how I noticed a lot more wine labels these days are more vibe oriented than information oriented. It's no longer about what chateau it's from, where it's grown, what grape, which vintage, and what are the notes you can taste. It's just an abstract painting that tells you it's a Chardonnay that you can and you should vibe with.
Right. So that is I have no comeback for that. Gen Zs are buying it. And again, look, if it helps to encourage a culture of wine drinkers, I say go for it.
Yeah, I do see the story playing out differently. So recently in I think end May, the wine expo did close in Singapore. It happened in Singapore, and observers, industry insiders did say that yes, the Gen Zs are drinking more wine, But according to the wine advocate, it doesn't seem to be the case in the US. So there are different sides to the story. And I think, especially with Singapore, what we do know is wine may be having a resurgence because we finally know how to get them. For example, from the expo itself, industry insiders are saying that yes, Gen Zs are going more for story-led bottles rather than vintage. They are going for better bottles than necessarily cheap bottles. If they are going for cheaper bottles, they will want to share with their friends. So yeah, there's all these observations which potentially maybe point to the reality that the wine story has changed.
Yeah, I like the air quotes that you did when you have talked about wine stories.
Yes.
At the same time, we also see another movements. I won't call it movement. Commercial decision being made by some restaurants and wine sellers where they have wine buffets. It's not
Yes.
new. It's not
Yes, Philip, we've been to two of these. What do we think?
new. It's fun
Mm-hmm.
at the price point where we deem acceptable.
Yes.
Yep. So we've been to two of them, and one of it was interestingly, they had a few options of Chinese wines, which I certainly appreciated.
Yeah, it allows us once again to open our vocabulary to wine that's not just from the old world, not just from the new world, but specifically the Far East.
Okay, I like the way you say Far East.
The Far East.
Yeah, so it helps people learn a little bit more about wine. And when we were at the wine buffets, people were certainly enjoying themselves.
They were not stopping. They didn't have to. I mean, they paid for it, but my God, they really enjoyed themselves.
Well, we enjoyed ourselves.
Yeah, we enjoyed ourselves. We did. We certainly did.
Well, the whole idea of wine buffets, again, it's like a free flow sort of arrangement, but it's focused on wine.
Yes.
So it helps with the whole idea of allowing people to experiment. To, for example, I'm usually not a Riesling person. So if I try a good German Riesling, it will really stick with me, and
Yeah.
it changes my opinion.
Yeah, that's right. And then that opens up your world and you're a little bit more acceptable towards Rieslings in the future.
Yeah, what I would like to see with this perhaps is to extend it to maybe beer. Look, beer buffets. Okay, we have beer buffets, but I want
we do.
craft beer buffets.
This is a selfish request, isn't it?
Yeah, true. But I also think about how you don't sip beer, you chug beer.
Yes, you chug.
So it doesn't quite work, huh?
It doesn't. And because a lot of these wine buffets, as we have observed, is actually partially, we believe, partially sponsored by the wine dispenser companies. So unless and until they are able to create beer dispensers, we think this will probably require a little bit more of a wait.
Yep. So we talk about convenience, like going around with the wine glasses and tasting the real things.
That's correct.
Convenience is also going to be another contention that we're going to explore in the next item on the list that we call Laksa No Harm, Top 10 Food or F&B Trends in Singapore.
What? Number 8.
Derek is pissed if he has to pay more than $25 for a premixed cocktail.
Yes, I am bristling with anger. I hope you can hear it from my voice. Bristling with anger. It's not acceptable. It is a trend that we have observed, which is why it's coming in at number 8. And I think it started during COVID. So a lot of the bars and the alcohol arm of F&B establishments are unable to serve cocktails, finely made individual cocktails to patrons because we can't dine in, right? So so they created premixed cocktails which they then kind of sell off, 打包 kind of thing. So that's fine. That's fine. That's contextual and I accept it. And I actually bought a few of them from Manhattan and I think some other bars, and I found that acceptable.
At that time.
And that's 5 years ago.
Yeah, COVID is no longer a thing, huh?
Yes, so what's your excuse, dear bars and bartenders who are serving pre-mixed cocktails? Worse, cocktails from a tap. There's one bar that's guilty of it. I'm calling you out, Draftland, Taiwan.
Why? Ah.
Why? What's your value proposition?
When they are charging 18,
18 plus plus to 20 plus plus per premixed cocktail
which is from the tap, right?
from the tap.
Yeah.
That's disgusting. Where's the artistry?
By
Where's the
s-
customization?
So by saying that, you are saying for a $25 cocktail, it should have the tears and effort of the blood of the bartender.
Tears are optional for me, but look, a well-made martini is the culmination of a couple of things.
Mm-hmm.
First things first, everything must be cold
Okay.
because it essentially is pure gin or vodka.
Okay.
So
So the gin must be cold, the
glass
vodka
must be cold,
the glass
everything,
must
yeah,
be cold.
right.
Yes.
So when you can pour it out of tap, you already remove the artistry that's required to make your gin cold but not dilute it.
Isn't it just a matter of keeping it inside the fridge?
But you still have to kind of make because the gin and vodka are kept in the fridge, but the vermouth is not necessary. It's usually kept bar side rather than in the fridge. So essentially, making a martini requires you to dilute, make the liquid cold, but not dilute it too much. So that takes skill. People go to cocktail schools for this,
And
and
learn it.
exactly, and it's not acceptable when you just pour it out of tap.
Okay. So playing devil's advocate, will it matter if it's cheaper?
If it's at the price of craft beer, then yes.
Craft beers are not cheap these days.
But at least I see the argument at the equivalent. Craft beer is mass produced, even if it's designed. But it is made in a way that operationally it does not create any dilemmas when served from a tap.
Key point, operational.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Cocktails shouldn't be an operational product.
But you do know that even some of the best named bars in the world, they do have premixed cocktails. Like the one we went to in KL.
Correct. Just because they have
Penrose. Not calling you out Penrose, but
just because they have it doesn't mean that it needs to be a mainstream trend. This is what we have observed. We're calling a stop to it, please.
As it is, there are too many, not enough cocktail bars.
If it means more bartenders can keep their jobs and actually learn how to make a fucking cocktail, then yes.
Okay, so I do see that point being the artistry,
Yes.
the legacy of sorts, and the quality must be there.
Correct.
And until pre-mixed cocktails can prove all these three,
Yes.
it's going to get the wrath of Derek.
Yes. I'm still bristling with anger.
Right. So maybe we can move on to the next item on the list so as to not bristle you too much, have too much umbrage. The next item on the list that we call Laksa No Hum, Top 10 Food or F&B Trends in Singapore.
Love potion number 9.
We see that there are a lot more merch-led sales in Singapore. Example being Milo in Singapore, where they were bundling some soft toys with...
Yes. Jelly cat inspired.
Oh, yeah, correct.
But not Jelly cat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another example is KFC with their own design merch. McDonald's also had it before.
Yeah.
Okay, so this phenomenon is not new.
Correct. I mean, back in the 90s, we had Hello Kitty, Hello Kitty that comes with McDonald's purchases. But of course, the key difference with that was simply McDonald's buying IP from Sanrio or Disney or whatsoever. So that is one manifestation of it in the early 90s. Fast forward 30 years from now, I think this obsession with cute shit,
Yeah.
cute shit that kind of works for these different F&B brands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it suddenly struck me why the key point why I have mixed ideas with this is that this definitely appeals to Gen Zs lah.
Yes.
But for a generation of people who are not tied to anything, look, they stream their music. They don't own their cars.
Yes.
They possibly rent. They don't buy a
For
house.
sure. If they even have a driver's license, honestly.
Correct. Why are they so hard up on plastic shit?
Because that Jellycat inspired plushie is so cute. And every motherfucker is going for it anyway.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
That's why we're not the target audience.
Look, the whole idea of cute toys or cuteness, drops, they call it drops.
Drops, yes.
Yeah. And swag
Oh, Jesus.
in popular culture.
Yes.
And all of this leading sales, I think it is understandable. It's just I don't quite see whether there is going to be anything good that comes out of this.
Yes, I guess purely from a branding perspective, it's just another execution. So the example you gave about Milo, Milo also recently did something with Adidas, right? So, but of course, that is within the context of SG60 as well. So it's part of a nation celebrating Milo's heritage in the daily lives of Singaporeans for the past 60 years. That I get. But I think Adidas nor Milo are not looking. They might be looking for the uptick in sales during this time, but I don't think they are looking necessarily for changes in brand preference. No, I don't think there should be any higher demands on direct output.
Yeah, you mentioned about how this is just a marketing tactic or marketing ploy. Yes, I do see it. I just for the love of God, I don't want to have all this merch go into the landfill once it's not cute anymore.
Yes. Does anybody really want to wear a KFC bucket hat?
Yeah.
Honestly.
Right. So that was item number 9 on our list, and we have come to the last item on the list that we call Laksa No Harm. Top 10 food or F&B trends in Singapore.
Number 10.
This is a very interesting thing.
That's correct.
We have noticed how some of the grey spaces in Singapore are housing a lot of illicit nightlife trends.
What do you mean by grey spaces, Philip?
Okay, so if anyone frequents the light industry areas of Kallang,
I see.
MacPherson, right, Paya Lebar, you will come across some literally colorful spaces at night.
But interestingly, dark doors.
Yes, where we can only imagine what happens behind those shut and tainted glass doors.
I know, right? I think we know. We don't even have to guess what happens in some of these places.
Okay. So going back to COVID again,
Yes.
right? A lot of these places were being shut down.
Yep.
And I think we have to pour one out
Yes.
for Orchard Towers.
Yes. Cheers.
Now that the 4 floors of halls are no longer,
Yes.
where do they go?
They will have to go somewhere, Philip.
Yeah. So we observed. We have not been, of course, we have not been.
And this is not empirical, of course. It's all purely observational.
Yeah, that there are a few siamtius
Yes.
around those areas that we have been to.
Yes.
Let's quantify what is a siamtiu for our foreign listeners.
Yes. Known basically as a Thai disco in Singapore, it has gained immense popularity, I would say, even pre-COVID, and then of course post-COVID, when things are legitimate again, they actually enjoyed quite a bit of resurgence until I think for the past 3 years or so, they suddenly disappeared.
Well, they did not disappear, they just went underground.
Exactly.
And there are variations of this. We have Thai ladies
Yes.
who who typically sing or parade on stage to get garlands
Yes.
of monetary value equivalent.
Correct. Some places use garlands. Some places use teddy bear.
There are even virtual methods of doing it.
Ooh.
Yeah, like they have a big screen and they like send a QR code.
Oh yes.
Yeah, we have done that.
Yes, we've done that before.
I mean,
yes.
to singers, not to
Yeah.
hussies.
Yeah.
There are also Vietnamese versions.
Yes.
There are also Filipino versions.
Mm-hmm.
There are also male model versions.
Yes. That on social media, it's been doing its round. There's a new
There
male.
are not just a new. There are
Male multiple
multiple.
male model places.
Yeah. I like this development.
Correct. Yeah, for the record, we are not judging. We are
Yes.
definitely for this. We like
Yes.
it. We like it. Yes, stamp of approval.
We might not be the target demographic or
yeah.
target audience,
That's true.
but it is something that we definitely approve. If not, if nothing else, it's for the vibrancy
Correct.
of the nightlife here in Singapore.
Yeah, and I think trend number 10 crosses with trend number 1 when we talked about the gentrified kopitiams.
Oh, pray tell.
Yes, I'm sure we have seen on social media some executions of these
Yeah.
Thai and Vietnamese ladies, singing in kopitiams for uncles who gladly buy a bucket of 5 Tigers / Heineken / Carlsberg.
The barrier of entry quite low, huh?
Yes, but I think that is a volume tactic. Could be wrong. These tend to be a little bit far from where we stay, so we haven't seen one for ourselves. But if it exists on social media, it must be true, right?
The locality that I mentioned is actually quite relevant because we're talking about these grey spaces. We call them grey spaces because they don't operate 100% as commercial spaces.
Yep.
At the same time, they are also not so much industrial.
Correct. And because you do need an entertainment and alcohol license to run these spaces. So light industry buildings, technically, correct us if we're wrong, I don't think they would have the license, do they?
Hence, the whole idea of this illicit nightlife going underground and thriving.
Yes. This will be a trend we'll be observing with keen interest.
I can't wait to see how this turns out. Right. So we've come to the end of our top 10 list that we called Laksa No Hum. Top 10 food or F&B trends in Singapore. It's been fun.
Yes, it's been fun. And dear listeners and viewers, I'm sure you now get an idea of what these top 10 lists are. So a lot of it is going to be very topical. It's going to be very subjective. This is what the two of us have observed. And I think hopefully it's been entertaining for you.
More importantly, we also like to invite you to participate in a healthy discussion, or maybe not so healthy, debate about what do you think of the top 10 items that we have on the list. Of course, they are of no priority of order.
Yeah.
We just want to bring them out and then to see if this is something that you will agree as well.
That's correct. We're taking comments, we're taking suggestions, we're taking constructive criticism as well. So flood us with your comments.
Yeah, comments in the comment section below.
Yes.
What are some of the things that you see are the food trends in Singapore? What do you like to see more or less of, maybe?
That's correct, maybe.
All right.
Yeah.
And we will be bringing you another 5 different lists in the next 5 weeks.
We promise it'll be entertaining. We promise it'll be slightly controversial, the way we like it.
Hot takes, huh?
Yes, bitch.
All right. So until then, this has been Philip.
This is Derek. Remember, like, subscribe, share.
Yes. And follow us on all of our social medias, right?
Yes.
Until the next episode. Goodbye.
Bye.